Coverage you can count on. KOMU 8 News starts now.
Tonight, the community in Nashville is coming together to honor the life of the 6 people killed in Monday's school shooting. Good evening, everyone. I'm Evie Allen. 3 students and 3 staffers were fatally shot. Those who knew and loved them remember them as shining lights in the community. CNN's Mike Valerio has the latest.
A candlelight vigil was held in Nashville for the 3 children and 3 adults who were gunned down on Monday.
Our hearts are heavy as we join all of Nashville in mourning the deaths of Evelyn Dykes, Holly Scruggs, William Kinney, Cynthia Peak, Mike Hill, and Catherine Kuntz.
First Lady Dr. Jill Biden attended the ceremony, and earlier, the longtime educator laid flowers at the Christian private school where the adults and children were killed, as family and friends are remembering those they lost.
But I'll tell you, I know as sure as I'm sitting here that Catherine went down protecting those kids.
Her friend, Catherine Kuntz, was head of Covenant Elementary School, remembered alongside Mike Hill, the school's beloved custodian, Big Mike to all the kids, and 3 9-year-old students. Evelyn Dickhouse, her family, shattered, her pastor honoring her on Wednesday.
She's amazing, shining light.
Hallie Scruggs, her father, the pastor of the church that runs the school, and their classmate, William Kinney. Substitute teacher Cynthia Peak, who was filling in at Covenant on Monday. She and Catherine Kuntz were both good friends of the wife of Tennessee's governor, Bill Lee.
Cindy and Maria and Catherine Kuntz were all teachers at the same school and have been family friends for decades.
In Nashville, I'm Mike Valerio reporting.
Hard stuff there. Well, the family of one of the children killed in the Nashville shooting has ties to the St. Louis area. The grandparents of 9-year-old Evelyn Dykes are from Washington, Missouri. Last night, parishioners at a church in Franklin County gathered to honor the family. A priest in that parish says the entire congregation was ready to support the family, starting with prayer.
We thank everyone for your continued thoughts and prayers as we grieve the unimaginable loss of Evelyn Dickhouse. Evelyn was a shining light, and she will be greatly missed by all.
The church says they're going to continue to support the family as best they can. Columbia police say 1 woman and 2 juveniles were injured after a shots-fired incident in North Columbia this afternoon. Officers responded to the scene outside Break Time gas station on Smiley Lane. A CPD spokesperson says the 3 people were treated for minor injuries on scene, but didn't say how they were injured. We'll continue to follow this story, and we'll bring you the latest on air and online at KOMU.com. Matt. All right, thank you, Matt. Well, today at the Missouri State House Capitol, hundreds of protesters came together to rally for transgender rights. KMU8's Davis Supis was at the Capitol today to learn about what the LGBTQ communities had to say. Transgender youth losing equal opportunities.
Thank you, Evie. Members of the LGBTQ plus community and allies came to the Capitol from all over the state for this rally. It's all in response to Senate Bills 39 and 49, which passed last week and affects transgender youth in Missouri. At the rally today, representatives from numerous organizations and even some state representatives had a lot to say.
When we fight, we win! When we fight,
we win!
When we fight,
we win! At the steps of the Capitol.
Protect trans lives!
An aggravated community.
No piece of legislation, no elected official, no geographic or regional boundary can deter that from you or take that away.
Our movement for bodily autonomy and full control of our own bodies, lives, and futures is really a movement rooted in love.
Some representatives standing for hours for the cause.
I promise you, if we could chain ourselves to these doors to stop this, we would. I promise you we would.
Emotions on full display. Pushing for more than just thoughts and prayers.
You can show up today and you can rally, you can fuss, you can tweet. What are you doing to show these babies that they matter?
Still a long fight ahead.
The love that you all bring to this fight, we know is going to win. The love is going to win because it always does.
Confident in their mission.
And finally, show up at better than 12% on Election Day.
The rally pushed people to take action by hitting the polls on Election Day. Meanwhile, Senate Bills 39 and 49 still have to be voted on by the House. In the studio, Davis Supis, KOMU 8 News.
All right, thank you, Davis. Well, coming up, how a bill at the state capitol could help with child care in Missouri. Plus, find out what lawmakers are doing to bring more movies to Missouri.
And we have the temperatures that reached the low 60s today. It was a cool start, though. We have a full look at what to expect into the end of the week coming up.
The House gave initial approval today to a bill that would give up to $20 million in child tax credits to child care facilities and providers. During the pandemic, many child care facilities couldn't stay in operation. The tax credits would allow taxpayers to pay child care providers directly. It would also allow providers with more than 3 employees to be exempt from income tax. Now, there's also a tax credit to expand and improve child care facilities. The sponsor of the bills say the credits will help parents who work.
Our economy will benefit, businesses benefit, but the ultimate, it is all of us that win. You know, so I think the number one person that wins is the parents, but at the end, I think it's the entire state of Missouri because our economy can grow, our businesses can operate at full capacity and generate revenue for the state.
Now, the bill has bipartisan support. It needs one more final vote before moving to the Senate. Yesterday, the House voted on part of the budget that would give $78 million to child care. Also today, the House perfected a bill which would try and bring more movies to Missouri. The bill is called the Show Mo Act. It would provide a 20% tax credit for expenses for movies made at least partially in Missouri. It would also provide more tax incentives if the movie script positively reflects Missouri or if it's filmed in a rural area. One filmmaker says it will help all parts of the state.
It would create a brand new industry, building the infrastructure around the motion media industry, so creating jobs, brick and mortar businesses, existing businesses that would just get an influx of cash that they wouldn't otherwise see without the film industry being here.
The House perfected the bill with 2 amendments. It needs one more finalization before it moves to the Senate. Still ahead, a community gripped by radioactive effects moves towards progress.
And the home opener for the Cardinals and the Royals tomorrow, if you're headed to either one, temperature's looking pretty good for that first pitch at 3:10 p.m. We've got your full forecast as we head towards the weekend coming up.
Well, people who live along a toxic radioactive creek in North St. Louis County and areas in St. Charles are one step closer to being compensated for their troubles. A CDC report in 2019 estimated long-term exposure to Coldwater Creek, quote, could have increased the risk of developing lung cancer, bone cancer, or leukemia. Republican State Representative Tricia Barnes' son was diagnosed with a rare type of cancer. She says it's a result of growing up and raising her family in North St. Louis and St. Charles counties, which are the areas with the history of radioactive and toxic waste.
It really makes you wonder how it's gone on this long, but you can understand how much Missouri has just been gaslighted by the federal government.
Burns has filed a bill known as House Concurrent Resolution 21 that would demand compensation from the federal government. The money would go toward medical screening and care. In national news, the Senate passed a bill that would block a Biden administration rule known as Waters of the United States. The bill would overturn an EPA rule that defines navigational waters and restore protections put in place by the Clean Waters Act. Opponents say it's too restrictive and places a burden on farmers and agribusiness. 5 Democrats joined Republicans in the 53-43 vote. The resolution now goes to President Biden, who has threatened to veto it. Today marks the 50th anniversary since the last American combat troops left Vietnam in 1973. The U.S. is holding a multi-year anniversary commemoration that runs until 2025, 50 years after the war itself ended. The Vietnam War was the longest and most unpopular military engagement in the country's history, costing around 58,000 American lives. A new study shows melting Antarctic ice has the potential to end an ocean system that sustained life for thousands of years. The peer-reviewed research in the journal Nature uses 3 years of computer modeling. It shows that the circulation of deep ocean water is on track to decrease 42% of 2050 without a slowdown of climate change. The circulation is vital for flushing nutrients from the ocean floor to fish near the surface. Matt.
Welcome back. Temperatures on Thursday going to be in the upper 30s to kick off the day. We'll get to the upper 60s in the afternoon. More cloud cover by later in the day. 74 on Friday, chance of some strong storms there. That's why we do have that alert icon there. Still waiting on our decision for storm mode. Kesley and I in constant communication, and we're working together as a team to keep you updated.
I liked seeing all those 70s. That's pretty nice.
It is nice.
See you back here at 10.